Hey, what's up, everybody? Gonna do a classic rock reaction, man. This is Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin, the song remains the same. I am going to be focusing now on a lot of my live stuff. But before I get into the bulk of my live stuff, meaning going all the way back and starting from the beginning with Led Zeppelin, I'm just going to finish off what I started. I was skipping around throughout the last year and a half around The Song Remains the Same, but I realized that there's still a couple of tracks that I haven't done reactions to. So I'm going to finish that off first, and then I'm going to dial it all the way back. Go back and start from the beginning, just like I did with all of the studio albums, and just kind of go through the Led Zeppelin live stuff with I don't know how fine a tooth comb, but we'll see what comes our way. But I know that their live stuff, of course, is more vast than their studio work, so I don't know how long it's going to take us to get through their live stuff. We'll see. Anyway, man, so what I've got lined up for today is Celebration Day and Over the Hills and Far Away. Now, I know that the Madison Square Garden concert in '73 was over, I believe, a period of 3 nights. And they had the lads appear in the same clothing so that it could look like a continuous concert, I think. That was the plan anyway, but it didn't turn out like that. But I know it was over a couple of nights. So there's a couple of songs that aren't in the mainstream of the film that I still have to get to. One is Over the Hills and Far Away. I know I've still got to get to Heartbreaker, Misty Mountain Hop, and The Ocean. Those are the ones that I've got to finish. So that's my plan, man. So before I get going with this, I just want to first give a shout out. Thanks very much to Tina Curtis. Tina, thank you very much, man. I know for a fact that Tina is one of my first subscribers on this channel, man. Back in the days when I was just starting my Led Zeppelin walk. I think she was around even when I was doing my anti-war stuff, somewhere along that way. So I recognize her as being one of my first subscribers. Anyway, so Tina sent me a note here along with the links. She said, "Hi STB, here's Celebration Day and Over the Hills and Far Away. I strung them together. I don't have decent links for Misty Mountain Hop, The Ocean, and Heartbreaker. I believe those are what you have left on The Song Remains the Same. So maybe someone can help you out with that. Peace." Okay, Tina, thank you very much. Yeah, man, so yeah, if you guys have some decent links for those 3 remaining tracks off of The Song Remains the Same, send it my way, man. I'd appreciate it. Doesn't necessarily have to be video, because I know that some of these footages have been kind of spliced together, or it's actually, you know, one song, but it's taken footage from another song and putting over top of it and stuff like that. So, you know, I don't need all of that. I don't necessarily need a video if it isn't the actual authentic video. You know what I'm saying? We can get by without that. Anyway, man, hey, let's check this out. So this is The Song Remains the Same, Celebration Day, and immediately following, Over the Hills and Far Away. All right, song remains the same. Let's get it.
Her face is cracked and smile, all the fears that she's been hiding, and she wonders pretty soon everybody's gonna know. And her voice is almost shouting, cheering winners who are losing, and she wonders if the days I feel soon they'll have to go.
car is that? Notice how he switches faces on stage.
If you walk, you're gonna get there. Long takes a little long, and when you see it in the distance, you will wring your hands along. Oh yeah, you are my own, you are my own. Help me live on.
Envy those guys on the side. Front row seats. Never went front row. That's a shame. Celebration Day.
This is a track about, I suppose it's about you and me and everybody. You've probably written one just the same. Over the hills and far, far away. Hey lady, you got the love I need. Maybe more than enough. Oh, darling, 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 walk a while with me. Oh, you got so much, I really need so much. I have to have so much.
shot at the crowd in the end. I like that. Just a walk in the park for these lads. Just another day at the office, you know. What did you do today, baby? Not much, man. Just another day at the office. You know how it is. That's the mastery of Led Zeppelin. And you know what? I know that among Led Zeppelin fans, there is a division. Well, I imagine among fans of every rock act, within maybe the exception of a few. But there's a division in regards to, well, you know, I'm in the camp of only liking the studio. Well, I'm in the camp of liking the live stuff. Well, I guess I'm a little bit more complicated. Actually, there are some tracks that I find more attractive to me listening to it live than versus the studio cut. For example, the song remains the same's rendition of the Rain song. I like that over the studio. The song remains the same itself. I prefer that over the studio. I just listen to Celebration Day, same thing. You know, so there's something elemental about the rawness and the grittiness of it live that just edges out the studio cut, but not always the same. You know, I prefer the studio cut of Kashmir, you know, and so, you know, it just goes like that. But I know that there is some serious division, and in the past, checking out the comment sections during Led Zeppelin reactions, I've sometimes seen some confrontation just over this element alone. You know, what camp are you in? Are you strictly, okay, I really only like Led Zeppelin's studio stuff, you know, it's more polished, it's more understandable, it's more whatever, or are you kind of up in the air about it like I am, whereas, you know, it depends on the song, or are you strictly more somebody centered on, I like their live sound, live because of their rawness, because of whatever? Let me know what camp you're in. Now, don't turn it into a pissing contest, okay? Because I know that this is one of those areas among Led Zeppelin fans that I sometimes see confrontation arise, right? I mean, you know, you can go back and forth at each other a little bit, but once you start insulting one's intelligence and then calling each other names and stuff like that, okay, draw the line there. But yeah, man, let me know where you're at in regards to the Led Zeppelin sound. And I mentioned that there's a couple of exceptions to that rule. I believe that Rush sounds just as good live as they do from the studio sense, and maybe even better, maybe, you know, with the crowd and with everything going on, maybe even better. Who else would be in that line where you would think that they sound better consistently? Now I'm talking, not just a couple of select tracks or whatnot, consistently. I would put Rush really, really up there. But off the top of my head, I can only think of Rush. You know that there's more. Let me know who else stands shoulder to shoulder with Rush as sounding just as good in a live setting compared to their studio stuff. And I'm talking everything, the musicianship, the vocals, the tone of it, all of that sort of thing, almost mirroring the studio, but it's got its own added flair. You know what I'm saying? Quality-wise, it's still there, right? Let me know who else you think is in that category with Rush. I still haven't had that much exposure to a lot of bands where it comes to checking out their live stuff, but I have with Rush, so I'm only calling up on Rush. I'm sure that I'm missing out on a few more. Anyway, man, having said all that, I really enjoy the live stuff from Led Zeppelin, namely from the song Remains the Same. Like I said, there's a number of tracks off of this movie soundtrack that I really, really like. And I believe the first reaction I ever did off of the song Remains the Same was the Rain song. And it was a challenge because I think I said something in passing that you're not going to find me doing any kind of sappy ass love songs or, you know, emotional ballads and all of that shit. That's what I said, right? And then somebody got on me. I can't remember who it was now, way back in the day, said, yeah, you know what? You're going to make an exception for this because you're going to learn that within rock and roll, yes, I know what you mean about sappy ass love songs, but there's a difference between love songs and ballads. You gotta check this out. And so that was my first Song Remains the Same reaction, and it was to a ballad. So it had a high measure to overcome based on my bias against sappy ass love songs. But yo, man, it blew my damn mind. Yeah, that was that 1, 2, 3? I think it might have been my third Led Zeppelin reaction. And I was still in this fog of being smacked upside the head from the previous Led Zeppelin reactions, Since I've Been Loving You. And I believe it might have been, no, it wasn't No Quarter. It was, I gotta go back in time and see what my second Led Zeppelin reaction was. But all the same, yeah, man, I think it was Achilles' Last Stand. That was my second Led Zeppelin reaction. But yo, it's great. There's an exception to the rule where it comes to Led Zeppelin's live stuff versus their studio stuff. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of answers you guys provide me in regards to that. We can probably have a discussion about it all day. So, all right, man. What I'm going to do here is, in between this reaction, and I'm guessing maybe it's one more reaction, and then I'll be finished with the others. Depends on the length of the songs or whatnot. I'm just going to do a little bit of read here about the history of this soundtrack, man, and we'll go from there. So, The Song Remains the Same. The Song Remains the Same is the live soundtrack album of the concert film of the same name by English rock band Led Zeppelin. The soundtrack was recorded the 27th to the 29th of July in 73 and released 3 years later on the 28th of September in 76 on Swan Song Records. Overview. The recording of the album and the film took place during 3 nights of concerts at New York's Madison Square Gardens during the band's 1973 North American tour. All songs were recorded by Eddie Kramer using the Wally Heidler mobile studio truck and later mixed at Electric Lady Studios in New York and Trident Studios in London. The sleeve design depicted a dilapidated movie house located on Old Street Film Studios in London, which was used by the group for rehearsals prior to their 1973 tour. Okay, yeah, I got the visual of that sleeve. Until both the album and the film were remastered and released in 2007, there were significant differences between the two in terms of the songs included on each. These differences were as follows. The film included Black Dog, but not Celebration Day. The soundtrack album included Celebration Day, but not Black Dog. The film also included Since I've Been Loving You, the intro to Heartbreaker, the instrumental Bronure, which appeared on Physical Graffiti, and a hurdy-gurdy piece called Autumn Lake, none of which were featured on the album. In addition, of the songs that both the album and the film had in common, some of the recordings featured on the album were of different performances from those in the film. Other tracks, which were recorded at Madison Square Garden but omitted from both the film and the soundtrack album, included Over the Hills and Far Away, Misty Mountain Hop, The Ocean, and Thank You. Alright. 2007 reissue. The Song Remains the Same soundtrack album was reissued on CD on the 20th of November 2007, with the surviving band members having overseen the remixing and remastering of the original release. This coincided with the reissue of the film, released on HD DVD, Blu-ray, and DVD. The new version of the soundtrack included 6 songs that were not on the original album release: Black Dog, Over the Hills and Far Away, Misty Mountain Hop, Since I've Been Loving You, The Ocean, and Heartbreaker, plus new liner notes by Cameron Crowe. Why were they not included? Is it just because of the overall length and it was just had to do with some sort of contractual obligation or whatever the case is? Let me know why they weren't included, because it seems like there's a lot of patchworks going on over the course of the last 50 years. With the 2007 re-release of both the album and film, the songs were synchronized so that the full set list from the concerts were available on both, with each song mixed the same way. Kevin Shirley, who worked on How the West Was Won, was involved in the mixing. Due to legal complications, the band decided not to change the video portion of the original movie for the re-release. Instead, Shirley created an entirely new mix of the three 1973 Madison Square Garden concerts so that the audio portion of the film would better match the on-screen visuals. Okay, I just answered my own question there. The audio on the new CD release was nearly identical to the soundtrack of the new DVD release. One difference was that the songs included on the CDs that were not featured in the original movie were included as bonus tracks on the DVD. Man, you've got to really go hunting, and put it all together like a damn puzzle. The audio mixes also differed from those found on the 2003 Led Zeppelin DVD. The most obvious example is that Black Dog was 2 minutes longer on the 2003 DVD than on the 2007 releases, 2 of the 4 verses being cut from the song. Wow. On the 29th of July 2008, a 4 LP edition of the 2007 reissue on 180 gram audiophile vinyl was released. It was presented in a deluxe archival 2-piece box with foil stamping. It includes a 12-page oversized full-color booklet with dozens of previously unpublished stills from the film, as well as 4 individual jackets with new and unique artwork. A special white vinyl edition was also printed in very limited numbers. Just 200 were produced, with only 100 being made available to the public from Led Zeppelin's official website. Man. Okay. Yeah, and the last bit here. So they've even got a 2018 reissue. Okay, let's read that. On the 7th of September 2018, a newly remastered edition of The Song Remains the Same was issued in multiple formats, including a multi-disc super deluxe box set, Blu-ray audio with a high-resolution stereo, and new 5.1 surround mix, 180 gram vinyl, CD streaming and downloads, including 96 kHz 24-bit high residential audio files for the first time. This is based on the 2007 version of the soundtrack album and includes the campaign of reissues of their live albums and deluxe editions of their studio albums that started in 2014. Tell me if you're one of those staunch, fanatical Led Zeppelin fans / freaks that have to have all of this shit. Do you have all of this shit? Let me know if you're one of them. If you've got every single thing that I listed in here. Let me know. If such a creature exists out there, I want to know who you are. Alright, critical reception. Upon its initial release in 1976, the album received some mixed reviews, with a number of critics considering it to be overproduced and lumbering. Indeed, the band's members themselves have since expressed a lack of fondness for the recording. Page has admitted that the end product was not the best representation of Led Zeppelin as a live band. In contrast, the 2007 reissue version received generally much more positive reviews. In a review published in Mojo magazine in December of 2007, James McNair gave the album 4 out of 5 stars, as did David Kavanagh in Uncut magazine, who wrote, quote, "The sound is vastly improved, as is the playing of the musicians, due to digital re-editing of the 3 MSG concerts presumably, not as much remastered as reconstructed. The 15 tracks, 6 previously unreleased, Showboat, Strut, and Snarl." Unquote. Alright. That is Wikipedia Song Fact Info. Lots of technical info on The Song Remains the Same. Some very, very intricate history here, man. And it's like navigating through a maze to find all of everything. But there are some of you out there who has every single thing that I've listed here. I'm sure there are. Let me know who you are, man. Yeah, man. So that concludes my reaction and my review of Celebration Day and Over the Hills and Far Away. Now, I've done individual reactions to the studio cuts of Celebration Day and Over the Hills and Far Away. Over the Hills and Far Away by itself. Celebration Day was mixed in with, I believe it was Friends. And so it's in tandem. I'm going to have to check my uploads on YouTube to see. I don't believe that tandem is on YouTube, but it would be on my Vimeo. I'll double check, and if it isn't, I'll re-upload it and make sure that it is. But I'm pretty sure it's not on my playlist on my YouTube. I'm pretty sure. I'll double check all of that. Now, sometimes I go through it sometimes and I realize, oh, I uploaded it, but I didn't actually push publish. That happened a couple of months ago with Nobody's Fault But Mine. All this time I thought that Nobody's Fault But Mine was published, and I didn't realize that at some point in time I just didn't push publish button, and so I had to push publish, and then everyone's like, oh my gosh, where was this? So I'll double check, man. Yeah, man, so with Led Zeppelin going forward for me, I'm going to finish off The Song Remains the Same. I'm going to be very focused on trying to get past that, because it's been 2 years and it's time that I wrap it up, right? So I'm going to finish that off. Still got to do reactions for Misty Mountain Hop, The Ocean, and Heartbreaker, and then I'll be finished with The Song Remains the Same. And if you guys have decent links, videos would be great, but if not, that's fine. I don't have to bother with a video, especially if it's some fake-ass spliced up stuff. So that's going to be my priority for Led Zeppelin with The Song Remains the Same. There's still some tracks that I haven't heard that I've yet to get to, and if you know of such tracks that I haven't heard yet, send it my way. I'll check them out. I'll make time for it. I might attach it to the beginning or the back end of what I'm doing, whether I'm covering something live. But my plan is to start from the beginning, just like I did with the studio stuff. And I believe that the beginning was their Denmark concert in 1969. From that, I've seen, what have I seen off of that? I've seen, I believe it was Dazed and Confused. And I can't remember what else. Communication Breakdown. That's what I've seen off of that. So it's going to be a little bit of an overlap for me, but that's okay. And I'll probably do the whole thing in one slab. It's about 30 minutes long, 35 minutes. So I'll probably do the whole thing. So I'll start with that and then go from there. And I'll just kind of ask your input. Okay, I've done this. What should I do next? What should I do next? That sort of thing. And, navigate through it, because I know that there's so many different areas of live stuff that I can go and I can get lost. And I'm sure that a lot of people will be chirping in at me like, why did you do this one? The quality isn't this, the quality isn't that. Why did you do this? So I want to avoid that. So I think what I'll do ahead of time is I'll ask, and I'll kind of get a unanimous idea of, okay, yeah, this is probably the next logical place to go. And so that's how I'm going to conduct myself with the live stuff. By the end of the year, I should be through most of the live stuff, and then I'll be doing the O2 Arena concerts. I made a promise, so I'm going to stick to that. Around the holiday season, I'll be doing that. And then it'll take us into the new year, where more than likely I'll start checking out their solo works. And that's the plan for Led Zeppelin, man. Now, scrolling down here, checking my notes. I gotta catch up to my Pink Floyd. You talk about almost 2 years and still not completing something. I still haven't completed my Pink Floyd live in Pompeii, the 72. Yeah, man, the song remains the same. It's been almost 2 years. Same thing, Pink Floyd live in Pompeii. So I got a couple of tracks to finish off from that. So that's what I gotta do. Still on point with my Unholy Trinity being Sabbath and Deep Purple. I just hit up Deep Purple the other day, the Tommy Bolin years, man. So I'll upload that in another day or so. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll make it up on YouTube. I'll split it up in threes and it'll have better luck. So that's my plan going forward for the Unholy Trinity and Floyd. And Okay, just a super quick footnote. I still can't believe that I actually have to have a talk with so-called adults about conduct and respect. Get this shit, man. Get this shit. Yesterday, we lost a fantastic rock personality in the form of Peter Green, Fleetwood Mac fame, the founder of Fleetwood Mac. Now, as soon as one of our heroes passed, I drop everything and I immediately do a tribute. So Led Zeppelin, typically I do Led Zeppelin on a Saturday, and so then I push it back one day. No big deal, right? Most people understand. Even got a message here or there saying, oh, yeah, so I'm missing Led Zeppelin, but I totally understand, man. Tributes come first, that sort of thing. So good on you that you're making the effort, you left work early, all of that sort of thing. And then there's a group of people that, and I'm not just getting this on the classic rock platform, I'm also getting all kinds of stupidness on the new beyond classic rock platform. What am I talking about? Well, check this shit out, man. I get messages like this. So, there are some very rude and very ignorant people out there. What is it, man? Is it just seeking some sort of attention, looking to mix it up and get into a confrontation, maybe try to spur me into a verbal fight or get into it with other people? Don't know what the motivation is for being an asshole. But, here's the thing with me. I consider my YouTube platform, my Patreon platform, to be, it's mine, right? My channel, my house, my rules. You walk up into my house, you are not going to insult your host because I'll kick your ass out, right? It's the same thing. You're not going to insult my guests. You're not going to try to get them into some sort of confrontation. People like that, I have no time for, zero tolerance. You only get one chance. So you get one chance to drop your poison, whatever it is that you're trying to drop, and then I'm immediately going to block you. So these people that you're looking at, they're going to be blocked, right? I don't have time for adults, so-called, and most of the people who are subscribers and patrons to my channel are adults. I have the demographics, I have it in front of me. The analytics tell me that most of the people subscribe, especially to my classic rock platform, are 45 years and older. So there is no excuse for this kind of behavior aimed towards me, especially towards somebody else who I consider to be a guest in my house, my patrons and my subscribers. So I'm not going to stand for stuff like this. So, and especially too, a disrespect to a great pioneer of the rock movement in Peter Green. Come on, man. Everything stops when one of these great people pass. And you got to understand that. If you don't understand that, don't want you as a patron, don't want you as a subscriber. So here it is. I'm dropping this right now. Going forward, zero tolerance for anything like that, right? Any stupid ass messages, any dumb ass confrontational insults, especially towards other patrons and subscribers, you're out. I can handle a little bit of heat. Hey, you dumbass, why did you do this? Why did you do that? I can handle stuff like that. But especially when it's directed towards someone else, no, you're done. So I'm using the Led Zeppelin platform because I get the most views on Led Zeppelin platforms. And I know that these people are watching. So, man, if you are one of those people that likes to stir shit for whatever reason, it makes you feel better, whatever the case may be, you get one chance to drop your shit on my platform and then you're out. Okay? So there's the warning. Anyway, enough of that. And not to end this on a negative note, I want to say thank you very much to a lot of my existing patrons and subscribers for supporting me on the new platform. The new platform has been very, very nice, and we've got such a great multifarious mix of different things on it. From one day to another, I don't know what it is that we're doing. It could be reggae one day, it could be progressive metal the next, it could be some Latin grooves the following day. It's really, really cool like that. And it's mixed up in quads, doubles, triples, whatever the case is, and some full album reactions. So having a really good time on the new platform. It's going exactly the way I expected it and at the pace that I was very comfortable with. So thanks to all who are involved in regards to that. So man, going forward, still enjoying my Led Zeppelin journey, still looking forward to getting to know them because they have a different personality and a different sound live. So I'm looking forward to that chapter of my Led Zeppelin walk. Tadpole no more. All right, you guys have yourselves a good one. Take care. I'll catch you in my next Zeppelin reaction. Peace.